Hello everybody, today we're going to tie a salmon fly, and this is a quite small one. It was very efficient, definitely here in the warmer summer months in the Scandinavian rivers. I've used this pattern not a lot, but I have caught salmon on it, and this summer I lost a decent salmon on it. And I lost it in a week where almost nobody were catching anything or hooking anything actually. So, but on my last day in Sweden we had until 12 o'clock to fish, and when it was my last turn or before it, I had talked with a Finnish guy who had lost a decent amount of fish. Actually, he was the one that was doing the best, and he fished with this fly called Strömsö, if you know that one. And I've seen the fly, I've seen it tied, and I thought, oh, amazing pattern, but I forgot to tie some. So while before it was my turn to fish, I found this old little pattern that I've had a little success with in my box. So I put it on, and it was my last turn to fish before we were heading home, and I lost a fish. So I'm very confident in this fly, and it's very simple to tie. It doesn't demand a whole lot of materials, doesn't take a long time to tie, and works pretty good. And I call it Pello, P-E-L-L-O, just like hello. Hello Pello. Didn't know what to name it after, but sometimes you just look on maps and see names from some areas, and I looked at the areas up in northern Sweden, and at the Finnish border there was a town called Pello. And I thought that was a quite nice and international name you could give a fly. Easy to remember. But this is Pello. Let's tie Pello. So I've started with a Outertube in orange with gold flakes, cut off 1 centimeter. And I've taken a black Innertube. Burn a small color. That. Put it on there. We're gonna take just a small amount of super glue on the inner tube, and then we're gonna push it into the outer tube, halfway up the outer tube. So that will be half a centimeter. Then we're gonna take a tungsten bead and metallic orange. It's 4 millimeters. You can also use brass beads. That would be just fine. And you know, brass beads, that's made for tubes, not hooks. So we're gonna start off with some yellow Artic fox hair, small amount. It's very important in this, if you make it in these small sizes, that you don't overdress the wing. So please be careful not using too much. And we're not gonna put a taper into the wing, we're gonna comb it, because the wing is gonna be so short, so it doesn't matter to taper the first wing here. But if there's any hairs irritating, sticking out, just remove them. So we're gonna measure to stick out approximately a centimeter behind the tube, and then we're gonna reverse it. Tie it in. There we go. And fold it backwards. go. We're gonna take a yellow hen feather. Find the tip. Trim it. I usually leave more to tie in, or just to, you know, you move your thread forward to make some space, so now it sits there, it's not gonna fall off. And it can sit there, it doesn't matter. We're gonna cut it off in just a moment. So we fold the fibers backwards, and when we get towards the wing, we go behind the wing to lift it up. Also, one of the reasons why you want to reverse tie it is not because it's not only just a strong method to make it sit there, but it's also to lift the wing, because there's no tail to keep the wing away from the hook. So when you reverse tie the first wing, it's gonna lift up the whole fly or the whole wing. So I'm just gonna give it 2 turns. Depends on how much volume the feather has. This is quite good quality, you know, whiting. It's good shit. So tie it in, cut it off. Oh boy, what happened here? Just gonna trim that off. No one's gonna know. And then we will take some Artic fox again in fluorescent orange, even though it almost looks like a bright sunburst color. It's a really cool color in this one. Really nice work dyeing this. So remove all the stiff fibers. Comb it in the front and in the back to remove the underfur. There we go. See, is there any curve? There's the curve. Taper the wing. And of course it has to be a bit longer. Yeah, my vise is a little bit unstable because I moved the torch, light, or whatever you want to call it, lamp, a little bit. Tie that in, check if it's okay. It should be a bit longer. So I just loosen the thread and then pull the fibers. Tie it down nicely, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess fiber. I don't use scissors, I always use razor blades. There we go. And I've started to use these ones that you also use for deer hair. That's very flexible, because when you put it down to the tube, there's no risk in cutting the tube too much. If you use these ones, these are excellent for cutting sunkers. but they're very stiff compared to, so sometimes they, yeah, if you're in a bit of a hurry and put too much pressure on, then you're gonna cut the tube and the fly is not gonna be that strong. And we're gonna take some angel hair from Michael Rodin in Hot Orange and Flames, and it's gonna be a fluorescent hair and one normal fresh hair. I will just cut it individually. There you go. And it's always a good idea tie hair wing flies that you give them some varnish. Don't use super glue, always use varnish. Super glue doesn't get sucked into the materials, it sits on top, but also super glue gets very stiff, and when this wing is going to, if it's too stiff down here in the bottom, and when it's moving, you risk that the hair start to break off. But varnish is quite soft. We're gonna take a hen feather in black, find the tie-in point. We want some of the fluffy fibers. Nice and tight. Break the fibers. Fold it backwards. See 2 turns, looks nice. 3 turns, looks even better. Again, when you tie with natural materials, you have to look on the proportions yourself, then adapt as you tie. There can be a huge difference in the volume in natural materials. So, and then we'll take some black Arctic fox to put on top of the wing. You can use shadow fox if you want to. It's quite good for salmon flies and slow currents because it's very soft. So first we can comb it. Tips, and then we'll find the curve to the hair. Almost all hair has some kind of curve to it. You can see how it bends, so you want to utilize that, and so the wing doesn't make a fall or a strange curve that doesn't follow the wing. So pull a taper, and the thing I often do, I don't just do it often, I always do it actually, with the hair wings, except if I reverse tie them, but I lay the hairs flat in between my fingers, and then I'm gonna try to fold it just slightly so it gets this convex hollow on the underside, so the underwings fit up under, so it covers the wing. So that looks good. Okay, put them on top. One loose wrap. And there we go. Check. It looks good. Give it a couple of extra turns. And then we will trim it off with the razor blade. So it's easy. Just turn the vise. It's gonna cut the hairs. So you don't put any pressure on it, and you're never gonna damage the tube. So there we go. And then we're actually gonna do a thing I told you not to do, but we're gonna use super glue here in the end. That's how it is. That's how it is. There we go. Take a couple of wraps on top, in front of the tie-in point, and then squeeze it all together. Oh yeah, and the disc is a 4mm Nano UFO disc in metallic orange. So there you go. No gaps, and you can really see how the wing stands up, and that's really good in those big Scandinavian rivers. And we're gonna see if we can pull it off. If you can't pull it off, then you can use this, and there you go. Burn a color on the front. Expand the hole. Expand the hole. So a 0.50 tippet can go through it. Yeah, you heard right. 0.50 tippet for big rivers and big strong salmon. So this is Pello. Quite easy to tie, fairly simple, not much to it, but it has given me some decent fishing over the years when I find it in the box, or the one I had in the box, and now I got myself together and tied a whole bunch of them. It's been a lovely pattern to use, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video.